And I want to, of course, thank you guys as always for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for taking the time so much. And tonight I wanted, I'm going to let Jimmy and Mandy kind of share most of this with you guys. But I just wanted to say what I have seen them do with being power partners and taking off with that has been really incredible. So that is the reason I asked both of them to kind of share, because they have really taken it and done some amazing things on their own with each other. And it's really benefited both of them. From what I'm hearing from both of them are just amazing, positive things for them and their teams. And so I can't stress enough about these power partners and different things that it's doing. So I want to turn it over to them, let them both kind of tell you guys whichever order they want to go in, or together, however they want to do this, and just share kind of how they have, become power partners and what they've done within their journey as power partners and how it's affected both of their businesses, and the positive things and friendships and everything too. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to both Jimmy and Mandy, and you guys can facilitate however you guys would like. So.
Hey guys.
There we go.
We both say it at the same time. Do you want to go ahead and go first, Mandy?
Sure. I'll go ahead and go.
Go for
I'm so sorry, everybody. I had in my mind all day 8 o'clock. So I was outside. I still have my company here because I'm like, you don't have to leave till 7:55. So we're sitting out in the backyard having a good time. But anyways, so Jimmy and I have always, obviously been on the same team and always talked. And then in the last couple months, we were, she was going senior Ruby, and I was checking in with her all the time to see how she was doing, and kind of formed a bond at that point. And then that was 2 months ago. And then last month I was working towards Ruby. And so I would check in with her, and she would give me so many ideas and check in on me. And we were working back and forth, and we both achieved the goals we were trying to achieve, and we just formed this bond. And so we found ourselves talking every day about our teams, about the business, about other things. And so we were really working together. And then all of a sudden, one day on our coaching call with Jeannie, she suggested becoming power partners. And we were like, it's kind of what we're doing. Let's make it official. Let's make this an official relationship. So we did that. And so now we have calls together every week, but we talk every single day. And we've done PJ parties together. We've done ambassador training together, bouncing ideas off each other every single day. And it's just been huge. Finding that person that you're on the same level with, and feeding off of each other. And it's so much more than that. I mean, we've developed this bond and this friendship that we've told each other things that we don't just talk about to people. And it's been amazing for me, for my business, and for my team. We've added each other to our team pages, and comment and like, and boost each other's posts up all the time, and just bouncing ideas off each other. And we each have our goals set for our next level that we want to be, and we're working towards that together. And it's not to and it's always just building each other up. It's never complaining about this or that. It's always just building each other up full time. Maybe a little tiny bit of complaining once in a while, but nothing either of us can't handle by all means. But it's just been a very, very special friendship and bond. And even though we're both on Jeannie's team and we're both in Arizona, we live a good 5 hours apart, 4.5. I don't know. I've never driven there from here directly. So we don't see each other. So we are both looking so forward to convention day. Get to, we've met before. We've been around each other, but we haven't had this bond since then. So I know I'm personally looking forward to seeing Jimmy and just squeezing the heck out of her.
Yeah, I am too. And I got to tell you guys, like, this power partner relationship that we have, it really came natural. Like Mandy was saying, we were already kind of doing that. And I remember back in March, It was like towards the beginning of of March. It was a message that I would say meant more to me than any other message that I could have gotten in the world. I was at dinner with my team, and I got this voice clip from Mandy. She's not my upline. She's not my downline. I mean, she's my sideline. And it was just out of the blue. And she was crying, telling me how proud she was of me. And then I was crying. We were messaging back and forth. And that just, it meant the world to me. And like she said, we've shot ideas back and forth when it came to ranking up. And actually, the day that I ranked up to Senior Ruby, I was getting ready to head out the door to go to the Valley. And I had been waiting for the system to update, you know, that torture of just waiting for it to be official. And I got this message from Mandy saying, where are your points? And so I was running late, but I just stopped in my tracks to check one more time. And sure enough, it was her message that had me check. And that's when it updated and said I was Senior Ruby. So that was just, it was powerful. So then, you know, Jeannie mentioned you guys should be power partners. And the funny thing was, I was already kind of thinking it, you know, wanting to talk to her to, you know, make it official. I don't know. Maybe we need like a Facebook status, you know, relationship. Anyways, and like Mandy said, we've done some trainings for both of our teams together, and the pajama party. Oh my gosh, this was huge for me because I did a pajama party a couple of months ago and it was a complete flop. So I hadn't tried another one, but Mandy is like the master at this. And how many people did we have join in on that one, Mandy? Do you remember?
I think it said there was like 113 or something that had accepted the invitation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we had comments. I couldn't even keep up because I'm trying to post and there's comments coming up and likes, and my screen is just full of these notifications. But regardless, if they, I don't remember how many were invited. Oh, well over 200, close to 300 people were invited. But whether they accepted or not, they were getting the notifications. So these people are all seeing it. And we had tons of interaction. It was huge.
Yeah, it was great. You're brilliant with it. I had to do one a couple of days later for my East Coast team because that time was, you know, really late for them. So we set up another one. And even for that team, it's, you know, it's a smaller portion of my team. We still had, I think, like 50 people that accepted that they were going to it. And that was a really good turnout. So, I mean, this just taught me how to do it. It taught me how to invite people in her little special way that is completely magical, guys. I was amazed. And like today, you know, we meet once a week on Zoom and just shoot ideas back and forth. We're trying to figure out maybe a challenge to do with our teams, something based like around Leaders Retreat. And the pajama parties, we've agreed to do them like every 2 weeks, and, you know, she'll run one and then I'll run one, and just back and forth, you know, a lot of teamwork. So I listened to a video today on Power Partners, and I just wrote down a little bit of information that I thought might be helpful on this call. It talked about, let me see. Okay, it's for accountability, someone to answer and to challenge you. You know, someone that's on the same level or similar to the same level. Mandy's Ruby, I'm Senior Ruby. We're pretty much on the same level as far as leadership goes in our teams and everything. And I think that's perfect because we're not like, there's not one of us that's kind of, you know, training and dragging the other one along. We're both challenging each other. And so on this call, it had some questions to ask yourself when you're looking for a power partner. One is, do they push you to be better? Do they have a positive attitude? And I have to say, that's one of the things I love about Mandy. I actually remember a call a while back where she was talking about how she just needed positivity, and I think she told her husband to knock off whatever he was doing.
Yep.
And I love that. I was actually that way with my son this last weekend. Do they have influence over others? Do they bring a complimentary gift to the table? Do they add value to you and to others? Do they display maturity, excellence, and good character? Are they passionate about Plexus? Is their belief strong enough to keep going no matter what? And I think that that is huge, especially in having a power partner, because you know you're going to have your day where maybe things aren't going right, you know, you're kind of down, you need that person to help pull you up and kick you back in gear and support you and just talk some sense into you, basically. Do you work well together? Are you close to the same rank, like I said? And then it had a list of things to do together, and I also added in some stuff that we're doing. The top one here, I really, really love. It's pray for each other daily, you know, and not, I mean, obviously the business, but not just the business. I mean, like with Mandy, like she was saying, we've shared some really personal stuff with each other, you know, so we can pray for each other on that too. And I think that that's really important. Talk to each other daily, share your goals and your dreams, which we definitely do. We talk about our goals, breaking our goals down, if we need to adjust our goals. Like I said, we're helping, you know, do team trainings together, the online parties, challenges, just troubleshooting, brainstorming ideas, and, you know, just being friends and sharing personal triumphs and challenges. And I love it. It's like, I got a new best friend out of this, and it's pretty awesome. So I feel like it's going to push me and it's going to push my team. And I also love the fact that we've added each other to our team pages. So, you know, we can bump those posts up, and we can, you know, I see something that Mandy posts, I'll go take it and put it on my page. She does the same thing, and I think it's awesome. So I'm, sorry, I'm really grateful for this partnership and this friendship. It's pretty awesome.
Awesome. Thank you guys both very much. And you guys nailed a lot of it, because that's exactly, a lot of the notes that I was going to say was, you guys are a prime example of a great power partnership, you know, and it's so exciting that both you kind of happened on it accidentally, but it was made for a reason, you know? And so that's the thing I want to tell people is, you know, some of you may not have that person that you're thinking of, you know, or know too much of maybe your sidelines, or because you really don't want to go with anybody, you know, on your team, you know, as far as in your downline. Because a lot of times that just doesn't work. It's not as powerful, because like both Jimmy and Mandy mentioned, you know, they're close to the same rank. So that's a big thing, is being close to the same rank is huge, because you understand where each other's at, and you can kind of relate, you know, and push each other. A big thing, like Jimmy mentioned, is, you know, this is somebody that you don't want to be creating that drama with all the time, because that's easy to get into, and, you know, talking bad about others, and, you know, just different things like that. Like they mentioned, that positivity and uplifting and encouraging is so important. It's not somebody to, you know, go to, and like Jimmy and Mandy said, absolutely, because when we all get discouraged, and that's what they're also there for, each other, you know, to help each other. But, you know, it's something to be careful with on that too. And I have to tell you guys something that was really weird that happened today. That was for this whole call, I told her, I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. But, you know, Whitney and I have been power partners for quite a while, over a year. And like Jimmy and Mandy, that has been a blessing. We did not know each other prior to Plexus, and Dusty stuck us together because we were at the same rank. And it's been the biggest blessing, because we've gotten to know each other, you know, we've helped each other. It's been nothing but encouragement. And like Mandy and Jimmy, this is a big thing, you guys. Too many people compare their journeys to each other. So I will tell you, that is the biggest thing from Jimmy and Mandy, that I have been just so amazingly proud of those two, because they have been supportive with each other's journeys. They have not been jealous. They have not compared their journeys. They have sent each other messages, helped each other, you know, and that's what some people get stuck at, is they compare when they're, you know, looking at somebody else at the same rank, and they're thinking, well, I need to do that. These two took it and they used it to their advantage to grow their businesses and be stronger. And look what it's done for both of them because of that. So I think that's always something to note, is it makes me so happy with those two, because I've had some that have not been able to get past that and of comparing their journey. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a blessing to see what they do, the support that they give each other. So back to Whitney, my power partner. Well, today I get a gift in the mail, and she just said, just for fun. And she sent me this beautiful Kendra Scott necklace today. And I just brought tears to my eyes. In the mail, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just messaged her, and I'm like, Whitney, I mean, I was just floored. And she's like, I just, love you. You're an amazing friend. Because of Plexus, I'm so glad Dusty put us together. And I was blown away. So like these two, it has been an incredible friendship, that we're there for each other, to help each other. And we're both under Dusty, but we're at that same level. And so I just thought it was appropriate for this call, because it's something, you guys, too, when you meet that one person, that it's growing that friendship and growing, that power partner to help support you. And so the reason I tell you that is because sometimes you can have a power partner that, like they mentioned, may not be encouraging, or that you're feeling like you're training more than, they're kind of helping, if that makes sense. So that's why I want to really stress, think about that, you guys. Think of if there's anybody that's kind of at the same level that you really feel, that uplifts you already, or encourages you, or you like their posting, or, whatever, maybe their comments or something, and if you guys don't have that, please let me know, and let's try to find somebody for you, because I have a lot of people that I know that have asked me before, and I have a few on this team I need to get with some people too. But please let me know. And if there's somebody, ask them, say, hey, how about this? But explain to them, you guys, what this is about. Let them know this is to be, encouraging, positive, just like they told you guys. And it can be very, very powerful. And what they've done for each other's teams has been powerful. If you guys don't have a team, that's okay, because you're going to, especially, when you're building and stuff. But most of you on here have a team. So, but for those listening to the recording, if you don't worry about that. It's going to happen. And it's just that person to find. If they're not the same rank, like Jimmy and Mandy, are not the exact same rank, but they're close. And so that makes all the difference. And so that's why I think it's very powerful. But do you guys have any questions that any of us can answer for any of you guys, or comments or anything like that that you want to share?
I have a question.
That.
So do you guys, on your pajama parties, and you talk about the magical invite, Jimmy, what is, what's the deal?
Go for it, Mandy.
Should we tell them?
Yeah, tell us.
Here, hold on. Let me
Get a costume
do
on
you
it.
want to write it down, or should we post it?
I post it.
Because I have a whole house full of people looking at me.
I'll
They're
tell
like,
you.
"Ooh, we want to know too." I just sent it to someone earlier.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'll tell you guys something that we were trying to do, like prior to doing it the Mandy way, was we were asking our teams to personally contact people and then invite them, right? And they weren't doing that. Well, Mandy has this like rule or message or whatever, that you send this message out and you ask for permission to add them to this party. And I mean, it's just really simple. I sent it out to 25 people, and I, that same day, ended up with 18 telling me to add them. And then later, I think one more came. So yeah, it worked.
It's like, doesn't Marcin have that magic message that he sends out? Okay, so this is it. And I just randomly made this up. I did not overthink this. I just typed it to someone one day, and then I'm like, hey, that works. So I started sending it, and it worked so well. I actually had one lady reply to me, and this is all via Messenger. I had someone reply to me and be like, oh, I can't make it, but I've been wanting to talk to you. And she joined as an ambassador within 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, wow, this is good. So it says, this is what I put, and we'll post this on the team page so everyone can see it. It says, hi there. I'm going to be doing an online Plexus information party next week. You don't have to do anything but read the posts and you could win some prizes. Can I send you an invite for it? Okay. So about that, there is no, so it kind of explains a little bit what's going on. They don't have to do anything. I'm not asking them to talk, whatever. And I don't give a date or a time. When you give the date, people find an excuse. So I just say next week. I like to send those a week before. Sometimes if I'm running out of time and I'm doing it, or maybe it's on Wednesday and it's on Monday evening and I'm like, I got to keep inviting people, I'll say, I'll change that to this week. I'm having a party this week, but I never give a date or time. I think once I've had someone say, when is it? Usually they're like, okay, invite. They're not going to tell you no to that. It's so vague. And they're like, sure. But once they say yes and I add them to the event, I do it via event instead of a group. Mm-hmm. Once they're part of that event, they're going to keep getting the posts and they're part of that and they can go back and read them at any time. And I have people do that all the time.
Yep. That's great. Thank you, Mandy. Yeah.
And another thing that she had us do, like the day prior and the day of the party, like every ambassador that was a part of this, she had us go post like our testimony, or if it was a newer ambassador, you know, just what success they've noticed so far. And so that's constantly showing up in these guests' newsfeed, and they're seeing that. And every time that there was a testimony posted, I would get a notification that somebody accepted the invite. That was just brilliant. And I even okay, baby, come on. I even got a message from one of my prospects, this way, Taryn, that said that she definitely wanted more information because those testimonies were getting to her. So
whether they accept or not, once you do the invite, they still get the notifications.
Yep.
And so they still get the notifications, and there was something else I was going to say, but everyone's yelling, and I don't remember.
Good job, Mandy. You're under pressure.
Yeah, I am. You should see this view I have right now.
That's hilarious. Yes, and it's something I want to start doing more for because I think it's great for the more engagement. Like these two said, what's cool is because they put their teams together, so the bigger, the better, because then you're going to have more people reading comments on there and asking questions, and that's going to excite your guests to see what is being said on that pajama party. It's just a big thing. It's a huge, huge thing that people love because they just sit at their home like we've talked about and get online for 45 minutes or whatever it is, and it's pretty easy. So.
And like Jimmy said, I know a lot of people have done them and not had success. So everyone just looks at me when I say I love pajama parties. I literally do them weekly, bi-weekly. I do them for individuals. I do them all the time. And this is why, because I've always had such huge from it. At the end, I mean, my team's getting new customers. We're getting new ambassadors every single time. So I'm doing them and people are like, yeah, I've tried that. I'm like, no, this is just how I do it. And I have it down to a science. It's 45 minutes long. And I have my posts every 2 minutes I do. So if anyone wants added, I know I've added people before, but just message me and let me know to add you to my last one. I can still add people to the last one so you can get the format and all the posts and the graphics.
Thank you, Mandy, for that very much.
It was so funny. I have to share this story. Jimmy messaged me last week and she's like, can you send me the file for all the graphics and posts that you do? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so unorganized. And I'm so embarrassed to tell you. I don't have a file. I just go back to my last party and copy and paste the entire party long. So guess what? The next day I have an email from Jimmy. She had done it for me.
That's the other joy of the Power Partners, you guys.
Oh yeah.
It's like I always said I wanted an assistant.
That's right. They're helping each other with their strengths and weaknesses here. So
I'm a mess. I'm a hot mess. So.
Great. Thank you, guys. Any other questions you guys have for either of them? Jimmy, can you post that file along with the message on Jeannie's page? Did you get that, Jimmy? Yes, they will. Okay. Thanks, Edith. Jimmy, your OCD is showing.
Wait. Okay.
Sarah.
What did she ask for? The file?
The file and the message. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. I had somebody that just had a potty accident, so I didn't hear all that.
No. Yes. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Mandy, for sharing that too, because that'll be great. So awesome. All right, you guys. Well, Anybody else have a question? Edith, did you have a question?
I was just going to say thank you. That is really amazing. And the way that you guys did that was just amazing. I think that is just so cool.
Yep.
And now I want to steal it and I want to try it. So the Power Partner thing that pushed you guys up there, that is amazing. This Plexus Friend thing is amazing. I'm thrilled by it. And just watching you two talk to each other, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much fun. They're like best buddies now. Didn't know each other before this. I love it.
Right. It's the whole One Plexus thing. And that's what I want. You know, that's why I started these groups too, the ambassador group and the silver group, and the other ones are almost done. But is part of that is what those groups are for too, is to help people feel more connected with other people that are on their same, you know, as their same rank, and to start to develop relationships, you know, so they feel like they're part of something bigger than just knowing their upline and, you know, maybe, you know, of course they're downline, but it just helps open that up. So I'm really excited to see how many people maybe will start thinking about that. So if you guys have somebody in mind, by all means, I would run with it. Start developing that, you know, and if not, like I said, let me know, or let your upline know, you guys, your sponsor, whatever. And, you know, we can see what we can do about finding somebody. But even if it's on, you know, it doesn't have to be somebody on our dream team either. It can be, you know, anybody that you say that 5 times fast, anybody that you know, within Plexus, you guys, that is the key to this. It doesn't have to be on our same team, you know, just somebody that you relate to, that you know, like. And I'm just telling you guys that will be supportive and, you know, encourage you. And it's the biggest thing. If it becomes drama and negativity, get out of it. That's my recommendation. So, but anyways, you guys, thank you for joining. Any other questions, anything, please, when they post that information on the page, comment there and we can get some threads going, you know, to help the rest of the team with any of this. And, you know, pass this down to your ambassadors too. We'll post the team call, but pass it down and ask any of them if they would like, you know, a power partner, and we can get together on that, you guys, and start thinking of some people. So anyways, you guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, and it was great to see all of your faces tonight, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. So we'll be talking soon.
Thank you, Jeannie.
You're
Thank you, Jimmy. Oh, thank you, Maddie. She's out of here.
Night all. Thank you.
Good night.